live video. I guess my audio went out. That just, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's how the devil be working. That's how the enemy be working. I'm sitting here, I'm talking, man. I'm giving some good. I'm in my groove, and then all of a sudden, my audio go out, or somebody try to call me, cause I'm going live off my phone. Somebody trying to call me or something, man. Wasting my time. Ain't nothing but these scam likely calls. Ain't nothing but these scam likely calls, man. If y'all coming in, please drop a comment in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know, you know what I'm saying, where you tuning in from. That just kind of made me a little, you know what I'm saying, feel the type of way. Cause I was in it. But anywho, we gonna pick up where we left off. But I'm gonna just wait for a few people to come in so they can let me know if they can hear me. We in the garden with it today. So as y'all coming in, drop a comment in the chat. Please let me know if you can hear me, all that good stuff. Where you tuning in from. Let me know. But we just talking about striking while it's hot, right? Taking advantage of the opportunity when it presents itself, you know, in the right season, in the right time, instead of waiting, procrastinating, you know what I'm saying, doubting yourself, you know, take advantage. So as y'all coming in, man, drop a comment in the chat, hit that like button as well. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. And then we're gonna get back into it. I'm gonna wait for somebody to come in the chat. Let me know if they can hear me. Let me know. Man, it's a beautiful day today too. Nice little breeze. It ain't too chilly neither. It really ain't too chilly. Strike while it's hot. Look like we got one person on. Let me know if you can hear me. And let me know where you tuning in from. But again, if you didn't watch the previous video that I just did, well, I just went live and I got cut off. I'm basically talking about, again, taking advantage of every opportunity when it presents itself and striking while it's hot. And that term actually comes from when, you know, blacksmiths used to work iron, right? And whatever they're forming that iron into, whatever shape they want it to be, they have to strike it while it's hot. Because when it's hot, it's moldable, it's bendable. You're able to shape it in the way you want to shape it. So, okay, cool, appreciate it, Cream 81, appreciate it. You're able to shape it, right? And so, just in life, right? Whenever the time is hot, right? Whenever the time present itself, the opportunity present itself where you know, like, okay, I'm not gonna get another opportunity like this. That's the time where you need to strike. And that's the time when you need to strike hard and take advantage. Because if you wait too long, then guess what? If the blacksmith waited too long, then that iron, it gets cold, it gets hard. You're not able to shape it how you want to shape it, right? So it's the same thing with homesteading, with farming. I was just, before I got rudely cut off and interrupted on my last live by somebody calling me, a scammer calling me. You know, these scam like this, man, I be getting tired of them calling me, bro. But anywho, I ain't gonna go on that. But let's just say, right, when you want to buy land, you have it in your mind, you've been saving for it, you know, and the opportunity present itself, and you have the opportunity to buy, you know, the land that you want. You know what I'm saying? An acre, 2 acres, 5 acres, whatever it is. And let's just say you know somebody personally who's selling it, and they come to you first and say, hey, I'm gonna give it to you at a deal, at a discount before I sell it retail. And you know, you got the money, but it's like, if you spend the money, it's gonna be a little tight. You could take out a loan if you want to, whatever, but you probably don't want to be in debt, so you probably just want to buy it outright. Instead of thinking like, man, you know, I ain't really got it like that to spend, because you know, if you spend this, then you're gonna, you know, kind of be set back a little bit. You look at it as, well, what can I do, you know, if I do choose to buy this land? How can I, you know what I'm saying, take full advantage and you know, still be okay, and just understand that I will never get this type of opportunity again. This won't present itself again. So if I don't act right now, then I probably won't be able to buy land for, you know, X amount of dollars, especially with inflation going up, especially, you know what I'm saying, just how things are looking right now with the market. So it's like sometimes you have to bite the bullet and strike while it's hot, and while the time is right. Because this is the thing, right? One thing you will realize is that deals of a lifetime, it's a reason why they say this is the deal of a lifetime. It's because you only gonna get this deal in once in a lifetime. You're not gonna run across nothing like this ever again. And I'm pretty sure like a lot of us can just think back on things in the past where it's like, man, I should have invested in that, or I should have bought this when I had the chance, or I should have took advantage of this when I had the chance. A lot of people feel like that about Bitcoin, right? They feel like, man, if I would have invested in Bitcoin back then right now, man, I could have had some millions or hundreds of thousands. Or if I invested in this stock, Tesla, Google, Apple. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, family? GA, first piece, brother. What's going on? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know, and you think back on things where it's like, man, if I would have, like, for instance, the housing market, that's another one, right? Like 20 years ago, the price you could buy a house at, you could have probably had it paid off by now. And the appreciation value would have been, you know what I'm saying? You could have money, you know, just sitting, right? Because of the house or whatever. So it's like, if you would have took advantage of certain things, then you would have been able to reap the benefit if you would have strike while it was hot. But being that you had what was going on in your life at that time, and you didn't want to sacrifice, or you didn't want to take full advantage of that opportunity, Gafford, I'm not sure what that means. If you know what I'm saying? But anywho, strike while it's hot, man. Strike while it's hot. So let's just talk homesteading a little bit. Let's talk farming for a little while. Like, there's a time where you can go and you can, you know what I'm saying, get different things that you need for your farm, for your garden, for your animals, and you can get it at a good price. You know what I'm saying? Times and seasons where you can buy animals at a decent price. And let's just say, you know, it's like, man, I ain't really got the infrastructure set up for them. Figure out how can you get the infrastructure built so you can take advantage of, you know, adding and expanding. Figure that out. Like, if you see that there's a deal on wood and materials and different things like that, take advantage. Take advantage and buy as much as you can. So that way, because it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But one thing you're going to realize when you farming and homesteading, it's going to become a point where you do need it. You might not need it right at this very moment because you might have other things going on. But at some point in the future, you're going to need whatever it is, whether it's wood, whether it's fencing, whether it's, you know, animals, whether it's tools. It's going to become a point in time where you need it. So it's like, it's better to take advantage when the opportunity presents itself. You might be able to, you know, like I did, for example, I was able to get lumber for a good price, or really for free, right? I mean, I had to pay to go and get it, of course, like as far as spending my money in gas and, you know, renting a trailer. But as far as the wood itself, it was free. So I was able to take advantage of that. And it's like, yeah, I got different things that I can use it for. But as far as this much wood, I don't need per se all this right now, but at the same time, in the future, I know I'm gonna need it. I'm happy with living small, a double wide in GA. I'm good for sure. Contentness is great. Being content is great where you at, most definitely. Dope beard, appreciate you, TA, I appreciate it. You should come to Puerto Rico. Yeah, one day for sure. One day for sure. But, you know, just taking advantage of that opportunity when it presented itself, like, okay, I can get all this wood right here, and yes, I'll probably use a quarter of it right now for what I need, and then I can have the rest of it stored up for when in the, you know, future event that I do need to build something out or use it for whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, but take advantage. Like, you might come across a deal where it's like somebody is just trying to get rid of, you know, some cattle pen or some fencing, or, you know, trying to get rid of some fruit trees, and they grew too much of something, and, you know what I mean, they don't have a place to store it all, so they just trying to get rid of it. You might not necessarily have a need for it, but you can store it, you can freeze dry it, you could pickle it, you could do whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could preserve it, and in the times where you may need it, you'll have it right there because you took the time to take advantage of that opportunity. And that's what it's about. Like, my husband and I, farmers looking for land. I hear the Gulf has great deals across America. Yeah, check out landwatch.com. Landwatch.com, Zillow, Realtor, those are some great, resources to go and look for land as well. You know, if you want to kind of get a idea, blow your nose a bit, bro. What's wrong with my nose? Ain't nothing wrong with my nose. But anywho, man, I think you trolling, Mickey. If you trolling, man, don't, hey, chill out. But taking advantage while you can, right? So some examples, right? I just talked about buying land, right? Breeding season. Like you saying you want, this amount of goats, you saying you want this amount of chickens. Take advantage in the seasons. Like, for instance, you got people who they raise broilers like chickens, meat chickens. I'm gonna put you in timeout, Shondell Gregory. Put you in timeout. But you got people who raise meat chickens, right? So the best time to buy meat birds is probably in the fall or the winter. I saw your video about land in areas where black people are welcome. Thanks for that. Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, man. I'm thinking about doing a video as far as internationally, because somebody commented on my video and was like, you should do a list as far as international places, just in case black people don't want to necessarily homestead in America or farm in America. They can, look abroad in different places that are friendly for black people. So I'm gonna do some research on that, and I'm gonna probably do a video about that. What's going on, Jacqueline? What's going on? But anywho, so meat chickens, right? The best time to buy them is probably in the winter or the fall, because like, a lot of different hatcheries and stuff like that, they may be backlogged. So it's like you need to buy them months in advance. So if you see like, okay, I'm probably not going to get these meat chickens for another 3 months, but I'm going to go ahead and place my order right now. I'm going to strike while it's hot, while they have availability. Instead of saying, well, I'll probably just wait, until February or closer to the time when I really want them. No, when you see that they are available, when you see that Meyer Hatchery, McMurray Hatchery, any of these hatcheries, well, you see that they have these meat chickens available, or this specific breed that you've been wanting, but you've never been able to kind of catch them because they've always been sold out. If you see they have them, go ahead and place your order. Even if you don't get them for another 3-4 months, go ahead and place your order and strike while it's hot. Because if you wait too long, you might wait a week and then they might be sold out just because you got so many other people who's been wanting to get them. Let me know if I'm making sense. What's going on, Sam Walker? Let me know if I'm making sense. Because, like, I don't know if y'all have ever, like, raised meat birds, but I've raised meat birds before. I've raised meat birds before, and I know, like, you have to buy them months in advance. Especially if you want, like, over 25, over 50, 100. You need to buy them months in advance because they get sold out quick. Because I mean, you talking about a chicken that from birth to slaughter time or butcher time, process time, is 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people who want to take advantage of that, who want to raise a lot of chickens and put in their freezer or sell or whatever. So it's like, that the demand is high. You know that the opportunity, it doesn't come often, because when people are generally looking, they're already sold out. The demand is high. When you see that, let me know if y'all can hear me. It seems like every time I get good and talking, man, somebody call, a scammer called my phone. Let me know if y'all can hear me. How do we start, sir? I'm in Kazakhstan. That's a great question. I don't know how things work in Kazakhstan. If y'all able to buy land, I don't really know how the dynamics work. Looking to start a small farm in Oklahoma soon. I'm a disabled vet with my VA loan. Most definitely. Hey, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I'm a disabled vet as well, man. So definitely thank you for your service, and thank you for liking and subbing as well. I appreciate that. Okay, so you're saying you have land. So if you have land, now is the time to form your vision. Now is the time to ask yourself, what do you want on your land? What do you want to grow? What do you want to raise? What do you want to do with your land? How do you want to farm? Do you just want, fresh eggs every day? Do you want to be able to have chickens that you can butcher and, that could be a dual purpose breed? Do you want sheep? Do you want goats? You got to ask yourself what you want. Once you kind of start formulating a vision in your mind, then that's when you need to write things down. You see how I got my notepad right here? I write things down. Write it down, make it plain. What do you want? How many of it do you want? You know what I'm saying? What's your vision for your farm or your homestead? Write it all down, and then that's when you reverse engineer and start to plan it out. A lot of countries won't let you buy land, but with the sponsor, you can rent land. Okay, wow, I didn't know that. Also, there's a black man selling complete compounds and homesteads, including animals and land. Wow, where's that at? What country? Is that in America? Chicken and eggs. Yeah, so if you want chicken and eggs, then now is the time to really see, okay, how many chickens do you want? Right? How many eggs do you want? Do you just want eggs for personal consumption? Do you want to sell eggs? You know, do you want to do both? Okay, then figure out what breeds, you know, will do well in your, you know, country and your climate, and then start, you know, doing some research on breeds and pick a breed. Once you pick a breed, look at the market cost, look at how much they cost, and see, okay, how can I get started right now? You know, based off of your resources. Yes, he is in Texas, expanding throughout the U.S. Oh man, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to look that up. I didn't know that. But so, again, taking advantage, right? So, breeding season, right? Breeding season. If you know you want to expand your flock, right? Take advantage of the you know, the seasons of you know, when animals are breeding. And this is the thing, like especially like with sheep, you know, with sheep and goats, they typically breed in the fall and the winter, right? That's when they come in heat, like when it gets colder. So if you know that, then around that time, of course, you know, make sure that your male is in there with your females, but you can also, you know, research and see, okay, who's selling pregnant ewes or pregnant does that I can buy. That way, I'm already buying them pregnant. I'm already buying them bred. You're taking advantage of the season that they're being bred in, because that is a thing. You can buy already bred animals. You know what I mean? That way, if you don't want to have to deal with having a ram on your land or whatever the case may be, you could just buy pregnant ewes, you know, and then, you know, do it like that. But just taking advantage. So, you know, chickens, sheep, whatever, take advantage of the breeding seasons. If you know that meat birds sell out quick, go and buy months in advance. When you on the website and you just checking and you see, oh man, they got some buff Orpingtons. I've been wanting some buff Orpingtons. You know, they got 50 available. I just want 10. Go ahead and place that order right then and there. Instead of saying, oh man, I think I'm gonna wait, you know, I'm gonna wait till I get paid, you know, because I don't really want to spend the money that's right here in my savings or my check, man. If you see it and you need it and you know you're not gonna come across this deal again for a very long time, go ahead and buy it. Strike while it's hot. What's going on, Tommy? Thank you, sir, for your input. Most definitely, most definitely. Oh, this is another thing, right? Striking while it's hot. When you first buy property, and I talked about this yesterday, right? When you first buy property, and let's just say, you know, you want fruit trees, right? You want a fruit forest, or you just want a few fruit trees. You want some lemon, some orange trees, apple, pear, whatever it is. When you first buy the land, that's the time to go ahead and buy the fruit trees. That's the time to go ahead and start planting certain things that you won't necessarily get a harvest until, you know, years later. Because with most fruit trees, especially if you're buying them from, you know, little babies, little starts, they're gonna take years to grow. They're gonna take years to grow and years to produce fruit. I'm just now getting fruit off my orange tree, and I put this in the ground as soon as I bought this property. Hey, farm life is good, brother. Farm life is good. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We taking advantage of this fall season, man. I'm gonna do a lot of building projects, you know what I mean, in this season. So everything is good. Everything is good. Animals doing good, all that. But I need you to harvest my field. I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you. No trolls will be tolerated. No trolls will be tolerated over here, right? Made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, fruit trees, right? Strike while it's hot. Also too, you know, because fruit trees can be expensive. I have bananas and mangoes here. Oh man, most definitely. You must be down in like in a tropical climate. Good for you, appreciate it. You must be in a tropical climate, because mangoes, only place I know that you could really grow mangoes for real is Florida. Or in the United States. We're hoping to try indoor farm-raised shrimp. Wow, is our primary source of income. There's only a couple shrimperies in Oklahoma currently. Aquaculture is booming business. If anyone needs ideas, man, I appreciate that, Son Walker. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I didn't know that, but that's something to look into. Because I was just talking about aquaponics yesterday, because I want to farm my own fish. So like, you know, like different fish like tilapia, brim, and stuff like that. I'm like, man, you can kind of kill two birds with one stone with the aquaponics, because you can, you know, grow your own fish, of course, that protein, but you can also use a lot of the, you know, the fish waste, and you can use it in your garden, and you can use it to grow, you know what I'm saying, some good vegetables, some good crops. So thank you for that. Yes, as soon as I get on my land, I'm going down to Florida to buy a ton of trees. Exactly. Green grass grows. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like striking while the iron is hot. Striking while it's hot, while the opportunity is there. If you like, let's just say, because my aunt called me, probably was like 2 months ago, and she was where was she at? She was at some store. I forget the name of the store, but it probably was a feed store or something. She was like, hey, I just came from the feed store and they got a lot of these fruit trees on sale and they giving them away pretty much next to nothing. She was like, so I went on ahead and bought X, Y, and Z, and I bought you one. But you know what I'm saying? If you want to take advantage, this is what they got going on, right? At that time, what she was saying they had, I didn't necessarily need, right? But she took advantage of that, right? And that's the prime example of striking while it's hot. Like, okay, you know, you've been wanting a fig tree, or you've been wanting a Satsuma orange, or you've been wanting, you know, a mulberry bush or whatever. And now you come across a deal to where, you know, they selling them for next to nothing. Go ahead and buy it. I don't care if it's fall or winter time where the plant ain't gonna do good in the ground. Keep it in a pot. Keep it in a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Don't put it in the ground just yet. But buy it right now so that way you'll have it, so you won't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, trying to get it later. You getting the opportunity, you getting the deal of a lifetime right now. Like, you could be on Facebook Marketplace and see, oh, people got, you know, these plants or whatever. They grew a lot or whatever, and, you know, they selling it, right? And they just selling it in bulk for cheap. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Have your own pond, yes. Yeah, I don't have my own pond right now, but I want to dig my own pond. But as far as the aquaponics, you don't have to have a pond to do aquaponics. You just have to have the right setup. Aquaponics works well within ebb and flow system and tilapia fingerlings. Okay, I appreciate that, JP. I appreciate that. You can use the shrimp waste as fertilizer. Yep, same as fish waste. Both will make your plants grow amazing. I'm trying to tell you. My wife, matter of fact, my wife uses fish fertilizer, you know, a lot of times for our garden, and man, it does wonders. So just to think about how much it costs to buy fish fertilizer, if you could just have your own aquaponic set up, you can get that for free. You cutting out the cost of fertilizer. You cutting down the cost. Hey, appreciate it, Tommy. Hey, thank you for subscribing, man. Thank you for joining the fam. Thank you for joining the family. Yeah, but striking while it's hot, right? Striking while it's hot. So when you first buy your property, your land, so you think long term. Think long game. Because you got vegetables and stuff, they're going to grow and they're going to produce stuff within a few months, right? We know that. That's pretty much short term you'll be able to harvest. But when you're talking about like nut trees, fruit trees, like you talking about a good pecan tree, it's gonna take years for that pecan tree to start producing, depending on what stage you buy it at, right? It's gonna take years for that date tree to start producing. It's gonna take years for that orange tree, that lemon tree to start producing, that citrus. It's gonna take years for that pear tree to start producing. It's gonna take years for that walnut tree to start producing. So think long game. Don't just think, oh man, I want all this, so I'm gonna buy it in due time. No, some things you need to buy right out the gate, because you buy it and you forget about it. So you buy it, you can either plant it in the ground or keep it in pots and you just forget about it. And then 5 years later, you're gonna be like, man, I'm glad I bought this when I first moved here. Man, I'm glad I planted those when I first moved here, because now I'm reaping the benefits off of that. I'm getting the harvest every year, and all I had to do was just strike while it was hot, wait for the perfect timing. As soon as I bought my land, I planted this out, I did X, Y, and Z. And you know what I'm saying? It's just about working smarter and thinking long term. It's thinking long term. Yes, it does do good as fertilizer. Yeah, it does amazing. It does amazing. Another thing, and I kind of talked about this yesterday, but building and expanding when the weather is favorable, when the conditions are favorable. So you know, in the fall, winter, spring, those are the best times to build. Those are the best times to really do a lot of outside projects, because the sun ain't beaming down on you like that. Now, depending on where you at, winter might not be a good season either, because, you know what I'm saying, you might get a lot of snow and it might get, you know, below freezing. But typically fall, spring, those are the times where you want to be able to do your building projects. And spring is typically the time where you want to kind of start getting your plants and your garden ready. So fall is the prime time. Fall and the beginning of winter. So it's like knowing that, taking advantage of it, and not saying, well, you know what, I'm gonna wait until, you know what I'm saying, this and that. No, just get out there and do it right then and there. You know, like, okay, man, right now, feel good, got a little breeze. I can work out here, not be baking, or not be too cold, be shivering. Go ahead and get those things knocked out right now instead of pushing them to the back burner, procrastinating. Greenhouses are great during the fall and winter. Exactly. Exactly. And do things in phases as well, right? Don't try to do everything at once. Now, don't get me wrong. When you get the energy, opportunity, help, when you get all of that, that's the time where you want to do a lot of things at once. But I'm just saying, as far as being too ambitious all the time, because when you try to do everything at once and you don't really have the resources, the time, or the energy to really be doing all of that, then you're gonna burn yourself out. Instead of just being consistent with something and doing what you can do at that time and really just doing a little bit every day, that's the best practice in my opinion. But when you do get the resources, you know what I'm saying, you might have the money to do this, to hire help out, that's the time to take advantage of it. You feel what I'm saying? But it's just about using discernment. Except if you live in California, we grow year round. Oh yeah, most definitely California, yep. And Florida too, you can grow year round, just depending on what you want to grow. But strike while it's hot. Another thing too, tools and equipment. Get them in the perfect time. If you see there's a deal on this, there's a sale on these tools, and you know you've been needing a chainsaw, or you know you've been needing a drill, or you know you've been needing, you know, certain things, auger or whatever. If you know that you've been needing it, buy it when it's on sale. Buy it when you see there's a deal on it. Go ahead and take advantage. When you see Black Friday or whatever, you know, take advantage and go ahead and just buy that. Strike while it's hot instead of waiting until it go back to retail price. How many years you been in this business, sir? I've been homesteading 4.5 years now. 4.5 years since 2021. Yeah, since April of 2021, that's when we brought this. Well, really before then, if you want to be honest, because I was raising chickens and stuff at my, you know, where we lived at previously in our backyard, and I had a garden back then. Is there someone shooting in your background? Yeah, they be shooting around here all the time. I live out in the country, so a lot of people, they like to take advantage of, you know, not living in the city. So they shoot. My neighbor, he be shooting all the time. Target practice and stuff like that. I be shooting sometime myself. But yeah, they probably hunting or doing something around here. But yeah, maybe hunting ducks, yeah. Yeah, maybe hunting ducks or whatever. But yeah, I hear it too. But yeah, so tools, striking while it's hot, getting it in the perfect time, getting it when you see that there's a deal on it instead of waiting. I'm just getting started in Henry County under a year. I'm looking into fruit trees now. Yeah, exactly. Be careful. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine, but I definitely will be careful. But no, it's fine. They doing it. They do that all the time. They do that all the time. But yeah, Divine, what does it say? Divine Roar. I don't know how to say that. But yes, yeah, definitely look into fruit trees and see what thrives in your area. What fruit trees thrives in your area. And you know, buy probably two of them a piece. You know what I mean? And then you can experiment with other stuff, but mainly look into what grows in your zone, what thrives in your zone. Because you don't want to be trying to buy, you know, a banana tree and, you know, the weather ain't conducive for a banana tree. Oh, zone 8A. Yeah, so look up what fruit trees, nut trees, what thrives in 8A. You know what I mean? And then when you look at that, I would suggest buying 2 of them a piece. Small fowl season is still going in some states, quail or pheasant, maybe. Yeah, that's probably what they're doing. They probably just doing target practice. I don't know. But I'm a veteran. I'm used to hearing gunshots. You know, so that don't really bother me. That don't really bother me. It's normal to me. But yeah, so tools, you know what I'm saying? But just different things like that. Next point, if you wait until everything is perfect, you'll never start. So sometimes when the iron is hot, it may not be the perfect conditions what you think it should look like. You might not be in the most comfortable position, but if you wait too long, then you're not going to be able to mold that iron how you want to. So it may not be, you know, the perfect everything is this, you got all the money you want, you got all the time you want. It might be a constraint on time or money or a combination of both. But this opportunity is, you know what I'm saying, like, you need to take advantage of it, and you know you need to. Just go ahead and bite the bullet. Because once you have acquired whatever it is, whether it's land, animals, resources, whatever, once you have it, then you save yourself headaches from the future. So in the future, you're gonna look back and be like, man, I'm glad I did this. Man, this was tough. Like, for instance, like, you got people who have been saving money, you know what I'm saying, since they were, you know, young adults. And they've been putting it and investing it in a smart way, and allowing that to grow interest and stuff like that, and haven't touched it or nothing. And they get down the road 20 years later and they say, man, I'm glad I did that, because now, you know what I'm saying, I can pull from this if I need to. I can pull from this account if I need to. I have, you know, years worth of savings right here, just because I went ahead and said, you know what, instead of going out and buying the latest shoes and going to the clubs and eating fast food every day, I'm gonna put this $200 aside from my paycheck, and I'm gonna put it in something that's gonna give me interest in 20 years down the line, which seems like a long time, but as y'all know, 20 years can go by like this, 10 years can go by like this. And so you've been constantly doing that, you've been faithful with that, and now you look up 20 years later and you got, you know, 6 figures just sitting. You're gonna look back and thank your past self. You're gonna thank your younger self that you went ahead and did that. You're gonna do that. Same thing, you know, with homesteading. 20 years down the line, right? 10 years down the line, when you see the world going crazy, you're gonna be like, man, I'm glad I bought them. I'm glad I bought them 5 acres, you know, that 10 years ago. I'm glad I started building my farm and started making my escape plan 5 years ago, because now I don't have to worry about the government shutdown. Now I don't have to worry about what's going on with all this craziness going on in the world, and, you know, all these chemicals in our food and all the stuff that they're trying to do to kill us slowly. I don't have to worry about all of that, because I took the time, you know, 5 years, 10 years ago to say, you know what, I'm gonna strike while the iron is hot. I kind of see something boiling. I kind of see something on the horizon. So I'm gonna take preventative measures and precautionary measures, and I'm gonna go ahead and just start moving off grid right now. This man should be fine. He looks loved in his own, plus he's also a vet. He can defend himself. And thank you, Chief Herb. And, you know, I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. I am a 2A advocate. I am good. I'm good, man. The same could be said about having a baby. Strike while the iron's hot. There's no perfect time. I'm telling you, that's why I got 4 right now. That's why I got 4 right now, because I said, man, I want to go ahead and have my kids while I'm young. So that way, when I turn 40 and I'm, you know, in my 40s and 50s, I ain't running around after no little kids. All my kids gonna be grown, established at my house. You know what I mean? So that's why I started having kids young. I struck while the iron was hot. No, for sure. You have collateral for more loans to make more business out of it. Exactly, collateral. Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. It's a million ways to do it. What they say, it's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. You can use their money. If you don't want to go into debt, you can use your money. Whatever, man. But just taking advantage. Instead of saying, man, I can't do it, ask yourself, how can I do it? Instead of saying, man, I can't afford that right now, ask yourself, how can I afford that? How can I, if you don't want to be in debt, how can I afford that without using my credit card or taking out a loan? Okay. Then your mind will start working and saying, well, maybe I could, you know, go and, you know, get a little part-time job real quick. Maybe I could, you know, look into X, Y, and Z. Maybe I can look into that. Maybe I could pull from this. Maybe I could pull from my save. Just thinking and asking yourself, how can you? Instead of saying, I can't. Because when the opportunity presents itself and you think, well, how can I take advantage of this right now? Then your mind will kick into overdrive and start making solutions and giving you answers right then and there. Instead of you being defeated and saying, man, I can't. I'm sorry, I would love to, but I can't. No, don't say you can't. Say, how can I? Be the main guy. Amen, brothers and sisters. Exactly. Escape the concentration camp. Exactly. Like pre-COVID, right? Around 2019. Around 2019, I don't know, I just felt something in the air. I'm gonna be honest. I felt something in the air, and one thing I started doing was buying bullets. I started buying, you know, just different, you know, resources and stuff that the house will need, water, tissue, different things like that. Things that I'm like, survival, MREs, freeze-dried food. I started buying these things and, you know, kind of storing them away. I started buying precious metals like gold and silver and stuff like that, because I don't know, I just felt something brewing. And lo and behold, you know, we got the pandemic. You know what I mean? And during the pandemic, if any of you are specifically like 2A friendly, right? Y'all believe in the Second Amendment, You know, during the times of COVID, you know how much a box of 9mm bullets cost. And you know you could barely find them, especially when the pandemic first started. You could not find 223, 5.56, 9mm. You couldn't find them at all. And I was living in Virginia. I was living in Richmond at the time. You couldn't find them at all. But guess what? I had stacked up on so many before all of that stuff happened. I stacked up on so many bullets I didn't even need it. But I still was like, you know, when they were coming in stock, I still would buy 1 box here, 2 boxes there. And I still got ammo from back then. I still got ammo from back then. That's why you don't see, like, I don't be out here shooting like that. Like, I shoot every now and then, but I don't like to waste ammo. But I think JP should be and moderate the chat. Yeah, hey, yeah, for sure, if he want to. Well done. All you did was use your God-given intelligence in your brain. Exactly. And sometimes that's all we got to do. Sometimes all we got to do is use a little bit of common sense, use our brain and say, man, you know what? I sense danger. I'm not going to go down that way. I sense danger. I'm going to protect myself. I sense danger. I'm going to prepare. Bro, you worry about zombie outbreak? No, I don't. I don't worry about too much of nothing. I don't worry about too much of nothing because I know God is going to protect me and my family. I have faith and I have action with my faith. So I make sure I'm set up to protect my family, and I trust that God will cover us. But no, I ain't worried about no stuff like that. Chief Herb said I was worried too. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, like, but I just knew, I don't know how I knew it was just spiritual. Strapped up with them banana clips and amen. Nah, for sure. I was buying magazines. I was buying magazines, ammo, man. And I even bought a couple guns, a couple pew-pews. The system in place is founded and rooted in Caesar's world, which is crumbling. Yeah, true. Yes, time to grow your own, start gardens in community harvest and sell or give it away. Just ask for seeds in return. Seeds. I'm telling you, seeds. Now is the time to really stack up, store seeds. On one of my previous live videos, I showed my storage container, me and my wife, our storage container, how we store our seeds. If y'all want to see that, let me know. I can go grab it. It's on the porch. But now is the time to start storing seeds. Strike while it's hot, while the seeds are cheap, while you can buy them in the dollar store, while you can buy them for a good price. Because I guarantee you, something happens and we're truly like in a scarcity type of situation, a famine. Seeds are gonna cost so much. Simple things, water, are gonna cost a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? So strike while it's hot. I'm telling y'all. We always gotta prepare that 72-hour kit. Yep, 72-hour kit for emergency. Exactly. Knowing how to filter your water, having different things, matches, ferro rods. You see what I'm saying? Just type freeze-dried foods, MREs, things like that. But most importantly, seeds. Because, and this is what I try to, this is kind of my philosophy and my thought process. I'm all for prepping, don't get me wrong. I'm all for prepping. However, prepping, when you prep, right? When you prep, the things that you store up, when it's time to use them, they're only going to be depleting. Meaning you're only going to be taking away from what you stored up, right? Which is fine and dandy. However, you need to make a plan of how you can replenish what you stored up. So you know you got all this stuff stored up. In addition to that, I have the skills and I have the resources to grow my own vegetables. So I'm not just constantly taking. I'm taking, giving. So I'm taking from it, but I'm growing vegetables that I can preserve and can and freeze dry so I can put stuff back. I have animals to where I can get milk, to where I can get meat, and they're growing. So it's like also thinking about how to be sufficient and not just store up a lot of stuff, if that makes sense. The fight is not over yet, or the struggle. No, it never will be. It never will be. The fight will never be over. The struggle will never be over. As long as you breathing on this earth, you're gonna have to fight or struggle. Heirloom seeds, exactly, JP. I have MREs with me. Yeah, I got MREs too, man. Like I just got out of the Army Reserve, right? I did 6 years in the Army Reserve, and I did 5.5 years on active duty, right? And I just got out the Army Reserve. But anywho, when I used to drill on the weekends, you know, and like let's just say we were like in the field or something, and we weren't able to go to the dining facility, they would give us MREs. I wouldn't eat them. I would just put them in my car, and I'd take them home, and I'd save them. Because if you have MREs and you have bought them from the store, you know that they are expensive. MREs are not cheap. MREs are not cheap at all. You know, But striking while it's hot, right? Buying things while they on sale. If you wait until everything's perfect, if you wait till it's sunny skies and all this, you know, and you don't want to go out in the rain and stuff, then you ain't gonna never start. You ain't gonna never start. Like right now, believe it or not, while you know it's rainy and it's kind of a little cold and stuff like that, now is the perfect season for like different types of fishing, hunting. You see what I'm saying? If you wait to say, well, I'm gonna wait till the skies is clear before I go out there and throw my pole in the water. MREs are meals ready to eat. It's what they give us in the military when we like in the field and stuff. So it's like meals that have a long shelf life. And they can, I think MREs last for like 20, 30 years, Chantel. But yeah, it's called meals ready to eat, MREs. It's what they give us in the military and stuff like that. And they last, they have a, military grade meal supply. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. And they have a long shelf life. I'm talking like 20, 30 years. Probably more than that. Probably more than that. I'm sure other countries don't act the way they do, like Caesar, as you've spoken. I'm sure other, I don't know what you mean by that. Like they do Caesar as you spoke, do like Caesar. I'm not sure what that means, FR though. And that's how you say it. How did you learn what you know? Did you grow up with animals? No, not really. I learned a lot through researching, of course. I'm a big advocate for buying books, especially hardcover books that you can have with you for life. Just in case the internet, the grid goes down, natural disaster happens, you can't access the internet, you can't access YouTube. I'm a big advocate to have books on hand. That way you can reference those books in times of need. But I learned a lot through books, through research, and trial and error. Trial and error, that's really the main one. Trial and error, because with trial and error, you get experience. So that's how I learned. But no, I didn't grow up with animals at all. Well, when I was in high school, I started raising like little chickens and stuff like that. But I wasn't no expert. It was just something I was doing for the fun of it. You know what I mean? But no, I didn't grow up like this. It was always, it's just always been in my blood though. It's just always been in my blood to want to farm, to want to be, you know, out in the land and have animals and stuff like that. It's always been in my blood. That hat looks cool on you, bro. Appreciate it, Rob, Matt. Appreciate it. Yeah, my dad bought me this hat. My son and nephew have some MREs come home with them. Yeah, I'm telling you, MREs, man. And there's other options too. You know, you don't just have to do MREs, but you got like freeze-dried foods. You know, just look for, like, you could just Google, like foods that have a long shelf life. You know what I'm saying? Or like things that are similar to MREs but are a little cheaper, you know what I'm saying? You could buy those, like survival foods and stuff like that, just to have them. But the most important thing, in my opinion, have seeds. Have seeds and different things to where you can put something in the ground and plant. And learn how to forage. Learn how to forage. I can't stress that enough. Buy books on foraging. You know, learn what herbs grow where, and you can, you know, just walk out in the woods or whatever and be able to identify plants, because that's how a lot of our ancestors survived, through foraging. You got a lot of stuff that grow wild and natural that you can eat and that you can sustain yourself with. Learn how to fish. That's another thing. Buy you a fishing pole. Buy you at least 1 to 2 fishing poles. I would say 2. That way you'll always have a backup. But learn how to fish. So any event that something goes wrong or something happens, you got seeds to plant, you know, and get vegetables and stuff like that. You got fishing pole, you know what I mean? That way you can go out and you can catch you some fish. Always have a rifle. That way you can go out and hunt. You can shoot stuff. You can, you know, whatever. In a survival situation, you're going to be able to shoot different things. Deer, squirrels. I don't eat squirrel, but I'm just saying survival situation, you know, you want to survive. So a rifle, fishing poles, seeds. But yes, also have a storage of things like MREs and stuff. Also matches, ferro rods. You know what I mean? Water filtration systems that you can, you know, filter water. Have things to where you can collect rainwater. Because, and also have you some manual tools. Don't always think, oh man, I need these power tools and power drills. Yes, you need those and you can use them, but learn how to work manual tools as well. Because in the event, like I say, you can't really get electricity, those manual tools, you'll be able to build what you need. Because what are really the 3 main things that we need, right? Food, water, shelter. We need water first, right? Because that's how we sustain our life. You can go a lot longer without food than you can without water. So you need water, then you need food, of course. That's how you sustain your life. And then you need shelter to get you out of the elements. Those are the 3 main things that you need. So learn how to start providing those things for yourself right now. I just told you how you can start getting food, having seeds, fishing. Learn how to fish. Learn how to fish saltwater and freshwater and brackish water. You know, learning how to hunt. And really just learning how to use a rifle. Learning how to zero your rifle in. Learning how to aim. Learning how to shoot. Learning breathing control. You feel what I'm saying? And as long as you know how to shoot, you can hunt. You know what I mean? As long as you know how to shoot, you can hunt. But those are some of the things. Mankind is marked for divine purification. The cranberries, mashed potatoes won't be the best, nor the hot cocoa, but hey, it does work. Leaving the country for a restart. Hey, I feel you. What's going on, Jeremy? Hey, so, shout out to Florida. That's my home. That's my home state. Shout out to Florida. I'm a Florida boy. Shelf life facts. Exactly. Men don't seem to understand what's happening in the world. No, they don't, but they gonna realize real soon. Peanut butter. I don't know what that means. If you take care of ecology, it will take care of you. Exactly. If you take care of the ground that you want to plant in, if you take care of the animals that you expect to give you food, if you take care of your water supply, if you take care of the things, the environment that's around you, it will always take care of you. If you take care of your dogs, they're going to protect you. I guarantee you. The age of deception is over. Leaving the country. Oh, I already read that. Oh, you put that twice. Okay. I just started grading this summer. I love it. Now collecting seeds. Congratulations, Black Queen 58. You say fake beard? Nah, bro, definitely not fake. Definitely not fake at all. As a matter of fact, I can show you how to grow a beard, a real good beard. Those who have created these systems have harmed mankind. I agree. I agree. Learn to hunt and fish. Start a fire. Filter drinking water. Exactly. Exactly. Those are the main things. Build shelter. Exactly. Farm some catfish and tilapia in the pond you're making. Yeah, I'm a farm tilapia most definitely, but I don't eat catfish. But I plan on having catfish in my pond that I did because of the simple fact it helps the ecosystem. Catfish are bottom feeders. They gon' you know, same thing with those big goldfish. I think they call it like koi fish, different things like that. Like having different fish that provide different benefits to your you know, your body of water. So yeah, I do plan on having catfish. I just won't farm it. This is why AI is taking off exponentially. Man, AI getting scary. AI is getting scary. I ain't gonna lie. Like I be looking at some videos and people be like, "Oh, that's AI." I couldn't even tell. Susan, what is happening in the world is not as it seems. We need to let go of relying on the systems and rely on what God give us from the earth. Exactly. Exactly. We were formed from the earth. That's what we need to rely on. You know, and one thing I say, man, I preach preparedness, not fear-mongering, right? Because first off, we're not supposed to be afraid of anything. God didn't give us a spirit of fear, right? So we kind of got to get off the fear, but it's a difference between being fearful and fear-mongering versus being prepared and alert. And that's what I like to teach, because if you've ever had any type of military training, what do they teach you? Never panic. Always remain alert. You see what I'm saying? Don't be fearful. When people who are fearful and they panic, those are the people who die in stressful situations. If you're calm and you prepared and you have you know, just a sound mind, then you'll be able to survive any situation. And don't forget weapons. Exactly. I'm an advocate of weapons. New here. I want to get back to gardening and farming. I grew up doing with my mama and papa. I done kind of forgot how to. Yeah, we got plenty of videos on that. 444. We got plenty of videos on that. Hey, what's going on, Zion? Peace, family. What's going on? 305. All I heard was Floyd. Hey, shout out to the 305. I'm from the 904 though. I'm from the 904, but shout out to the 305. I don't care about this country, man, or this sees the world. Peace is all I aspire to have in life. Hey, I'm telling you, without peace, there's nothing. No, you're absolutely right. The FDA requires a formal investigation. The entire world will come to know the truth. Nah, most definitely. Yeah, nah, but kind of get back on topic. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Because I gotta go soon, right? Because I wrote down some points. But when you fail to act and when you wait too long, a lot of opportunities will pass you by. Like, you don't got to take action on every opportunity, because a lot of times people think I got to take advantage of every opportunity. Nah, you don't got to take advantage of every opportunity. You don't want to just be buying up everything because you see a deal on it. Then you become a hoarder. That's not what I'm saying, right? But there are times where you need to act, and you will know those times. You'll know when you need to act. You'll know, like, man, this is a once in a lifetime type of deal, right? Like, this is the most logical thing to do. In those times, you need to act and not you know, wait at all. Because when you wait and when you kind of hesitate and you wait too long, those opportunities will pass you by, and you're going to be stuck with a lot of regret. So if you're waiting for things to be perfect, if you're waiting for you to have it all together, that time will never come, right? And the opportunities that you could have took advantage of, they're going to be long gone, and you're going to be wishing you took advantage of them. But again, like I say, it's about having balance and discernment. It's about having balance and discernment, knowing what to take advantage of and when to take advantage of it, right? If somebody call you with something that you've been praying for, and they telling you like, hey, you know, this, you know, you can take advantage of this and it's a good deal, you need to make a way to take advantage of that opportunity. I don't care if you got to drive to the next state over. I don't care if you got to take off of work. I don't care if you got to wait till you get off of work and you dog tired. I don't care if you got to sacrifice some of the money you've been saving. I don't care. Take advantage of that opportunity right now, and don't wait. Get up and lace your boots up and get out the door and get after it. You feel what I'm saying? Because, man, I'm telling you, like, I can remember praying for things, right? And somebody called me like, hey, we got this, whatever. And I'm like, oh, for real? But then it's like, the conditions ain't perfect though. Like, man, I'm worried about, I ain't really got gas money to do this or whatever. But it's like, at that time, you just gotta push all those negative thoughts to the side and all those doubtful thoughts to the side and say, you know what, I'm gonna get down there, I'm gonna take advantage of it, I'm gonna go pick this up, I might not have a trailer, but I can go rent one, I can go borrow one from my friend, or I can do this. I might not have a pickup truck, but guess what, U-Haul got pickup trucks that you can rent. You see what I'm saying? Lowe's, Home Depots, they got, you know, I don't know if Lowe's do, but I think Home Depot, they got pickup trucks that you can rent. You see what I'm saying? But it's just like taking advantage and doing it in a manner to where you're not waiting too long, and you striking while the iron is hot. I do not eat meat. Eat meat to street. I don't know what you mean, but I eat meat though. I eat meat. I'm about to subscribe. I appreciate the message and knowledge, brother. For sure. Yeah, all the time. Look, I'm going live every day this month, so I'll be live tomorrow evening. Tomorrow at probably around like 7:30, I'll go live tomorrow. So yeah, y'all can tap in too. You must awaken and become conscious what is happening. I already know what's happening. Susan, we could have a live talking about this. I'm about this new earth life. That's why I put my energy in, not the fight, but the victory. Exactly. I know way too much now. I swear, man, ignorance is bliss. And when you start learning, I'm telling you, I do not eat meat. Oh, I already read that one. God gave us the intellect, a free agency. God made us in his image with his qualities. This greed, ego, and God complex in us wanting to create a new life via AI would never replace the divinity of God. Absolutely, it can't. Susan, stop. Appreciate that, JP. Appreciate that, JP. Yeah, like one thing, man, I'm about, especially, you know, on this platform, because we all come from different walks of life, and I respect everybody's way of life. And I don't push my way of life on nobody. I'm just here to educate, inspire, motivate, all that good stuff. So, you know, if you got personal convictions, preach that on your page. You feel me? Preach that on your page. But I respect everybody. You know what I'm saying? I respect everybody's mind. That's what we used to say growing up where I'm from. We say, hey man, respect my mind. You feel me? So I respect everybody's mind. The Lord, I need my protein fresh. Sorry. Hey, straight up, Chief. Straight up. The laws will have to be changed because of AI. Look, I ain't doubting all that. But, again, I'm going to leave y'all with that. Strike while it's hot. You know what I mean? Take advantage of the opportunities. Think long game. You know what I mean? Think years down the line. And this is with everything, not just homesteading. Take advantage. So if it's an opportunity, you might get a call tomorrow about an opportunity that you've been praying for that you know you need to take advantage of. Do not delay. Don't delay, because you're gonna regret it. I'm telling you. So this is your reminder. Take advantage. It might be something that you've been contemplating on buying. It might be some chickens that's like, man, I really want this breed. I feel I can make some money off of it. Woo. And they got them in stock right now, but I don't know if I should buy them because XYZ. I ain't got chicken coop built. Man, buy it and figure it out. Buy it and build the chicken coops once you done made the purchase. But go ahead and do it right now. Well done, my friend. You taking action for your own self and your family. Exactly. I appreciate that, Susan. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Peace and love, everyone. Yeah. Thank y'all. Yeah, man. I need my body lean with muscles real up, ready to chop some tree bars. Straight up, Chief Herb. Hey, I will come through a possible West Coast here. Okay, for sure, for sure. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be live around 7:30, 7:45. If y'all got any topics, just drop them in the comment section. Not the chat, but the comment section of this video, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all, chat, for doing what y'all supposed to do. I appreciate everybody for their input, man. I hope you learned something, and I'll see y'all on the next one.